Welcome to the Quantum Time Traveller, where we journey beyond time and space to unlock the universe's deepest secrets. I'm your host, Emma Bushell, and together with my co-host, Suzi Edwards, we'll guide you through channeled experiences and soul truths, revealing ancient wisdom and higher dimensions. In episodes, we'll also welcome invited guests to share their own spiritual revelations and cosmic insights. Prepare to expand your mind and elevate your spirit as we uncover the mysteries of existence. This is the Quantum Time Traveller, where the universe speaks, and we're so excited for you to join us on our journey. Welcome to the Quantum Time Traveller. So excited to bring you such a powerhouse of information. My name is Emma Bushell. I'm your channeler and your guide and your time traveler today. And joining me is the amazing Suzi Edwards, who is navigating her soul's alchemy and assisting me with my channel to receive higher source intelligence. This knowledge is ancient wisdom. This knowledge is revealing things that we just haven't been told yet. And this is so exciting to bring this to you all, for those listeners and those people that are viewing also. Okay, so I'm already in channel and I'm going to pass you over to Suzi because she's going to navigate me through, because I will be in deep trance and enjoy every minute of this.
Thank you so much, Emma. I'm so excited for this. Just a quick explanation for our viewers. Just before we record the session, we go in, we clear our energy, we connect together, and we ask, what are you going to help us with today? What do you want to reveal to us today? So we know that we're going to Atlantis, but right now, that's all we know. So, Emma, are you ready to take us on a journey?
Yeah.
Okay.
Over to you to navigate, honey.
Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so let's just see where you are and what you can see right now.
Okay, so I'm being shown the beginning, and the words in the beginning, I received this as psychic words and visions in the beginning of Atlantis and what really happened. And I
Fantastic.
may be slowed down slightly, and this is only purely because I'm receiving source intelligence, which is light coding for those people to understand. It comes through very fast, and sometimes I have to be slowed down to translate them into words.
Fantastic.
So I'm being shown Atlantis as a fortress of beauty and purity. It was a fortress that held a force field around water. And those that were in it were contained within this force field. And it held, that was the structure. So it was almost like I'm being shown this beautiful, harmonious, peaceful existence of people that were gifted naturally in what trades or skills that they had, but more so it was more about energetic gifts. It was more about having powerful gifts of being human, whether it's psychic, whether it's visionary, whether it was clairaudient, whether it was all sorts of things, kinesiology, telepathy. But we all lived in this co-creation of beauty and purity and love and peace. And the fortress that I'm being shown was held in a structure. And I'm being shown almost like an egg structure that had like it was like I'm being shown like an egg of above and below. So below was water, but above was like um just like sunsets and the purity of the sun in its beauty, actually. It's very harmoniously sort of like almost rainbow colors, actually, which sounds very fantastical, but I'm being shown this as this beautiful place to be. And a lot of people wanted to be here, but it was protected. Um, and those people that came and were invited in were people that were natural seers, gifted, and held their own power in being multidimensional. And I'm just giving you the view as I see it presented as it was in the beginning.
Amazing. So as we went into channel, I saw the rainbow, and that was one of the first things that I was drawn to. So what is keeping this force field in place and keeping the whole of Atlantis safe?
Um, okay, so the force field is a frequency, and the frequency is a collected space of the people that are inside it,
Hmm.
and it is kept purely from a love frequency. It's a harmonious structure that's been created. So it's almost like I'm being shown a force field, but yet when you're in the frequency, when you're living in this space of harmonious purity and love and fulfillment and potential and peace, you'll naturally calibrate to that. So there isn't any, fear and war and struggle and all of the negative vibrations or lower vibrations. It doesn't exist here. It sounds very fairy tale, but it doesn't exist here.
That's amazing. Absolutely amazing. So, can you describe the people? Like, do they look like humans? Do they look slightly different? Can you see the evolution from Atlantis to now?
Um, a lot of, well, Atlantis is mainly water. It's pretty much
Mhm.
water, I see. And people, well, I mean, I see things like mermaids in here. I see people in the
Mhm.
water. I see people that were half, fantasy, half human. I see people that are levitating. They're it's almost like you're just in this frequency that's so high vibrational that actually water seems the only natural thing within it with the purity of the rainbows in the atmosphere, but they're all in synergy. Everything works together, but there is a gravitational element in this because the water is, and it's very much like Earth. It's very much like heaven on Earth, but there is a gravitational element to this. So the structure that I'm showing as this sort of egg shape, almost like oval shape, has a structure of gravity within it. So it's like a planet. It's very much like a planet rather than a myth.
Wow, that's incredible. And how do you feel this planet became accessible to inhabitants?
Okay. This was a community. So the people that were inside Atlantis were a community. They
Hmm.
are a community here in this space that I see. Um, Now. the oracle that exists in this space was given information whether there was going to be people wanting to penetrate this frequency. And remember, this is a high vibrational frequency. So we're talking about multi-dimension. We're talking about dimensional states of being and light. So when there is an external force that wants to come into or be invited into Atlantis, because it was by invite only, it
Okay.
kept the purity and the safety of the planet so that it was only for people that had this harmonious um, energy or frequency to come and be invited into it. So therefore, if it couldn't penetrate, you couldn't allow anybody else in that didn't have that frequency unless they were invited. So it would be, it's almost like the diamond, the gem planet, because there was a lot of external negative, fear-based um beings, shall we say, that wanted to attack and destroy it because they wanted to come in it, but they weren't invited.
Okay, that makes sense. So the inhabitants of Atlantis, where did they come from initially? Because humans at that time, at this time, may not have the highest vibration to be able to get there.
Okay, so you're looking at it as in we're on Earth.
Hmm.
This is multidimensional.
Hmm.
This isn't Earth.
Yeah.
So this is in a different planetary system. You're looking at it as a human being now on Earth.
Yeah. So that we can understand from the third dimension how this works, how Atlantis was formed, how inhabitants were they naturally born there? Was it like a Big Bang theory?
Souls were originated there
Okay.
and then built as a family community.
Okay. Okay, so without going into soul reincarnation too much, that's something we will address, obviously. To be accepted, I presume that most souls would want to go to Atlantis, this amazing planet. So to be accepted would be very the word's gone. It would be an honor, right? So how how much would a soul need to be evolved to be able to incarnate on Atlantis?
The evolution of Atlantis for a soul's journey is the purity of the soul's essence. It isn't a human.
Hmm.
Therefore, it's of its purest light, its purest essence of truth. So it hasn't learnt the conditions within a structured society, within a family, within culture, within politics, within religion, and all of the things that we have as humans been taught to be within our family and ancestors and ways of living in the world now.
Hmm.
This is actually you when you are actually born, before you've actually been taught anything different and learned anything different. So you can relate this to being born as a human being from day one. That's your soul in its purest form. And Atlantis only had those souls in purest form, which is why the natural powers or natural gifts that every soul holds before they are taught originates as those purest forms of soul beings. Everybody holds this. Everybody holds this. And Atlantis, you were that.
Amazing. So every soul has incarnated in Atlantis. This is the beginning. This is the starting point of every single soul.
Yeah.
That's incredible. That's absolutely incredible. So looking at a day-to-day life on Atlantis, apart from, living in this amazing purity, high love, were the souls, our souls on Atlantis, were they learning new skills, or did every skill that soul earn incarnate with them on Atlantis? Let me know if that didn't make sense.
Yeah, it did make sense.
Okay, so were
Just
there
just
schools?
slow the questions
Just
down.
down. Okay. Were there schools on Atlantis to learn other skills?
It wasn't about doing,
Hmm.
it was about being,
Okay.
because you were already it.
Hmm.
So you were being it.
Hmm.
And remember, there's no time here. So you were existing and being in this beautiful space all of the time. Time is just made up for humans.
Hmm.
You were just being in this frequency of complete bliss. And your gifts were elevated and developed through the frequency that you were being with everybody else, so that it was so powerful, which created almost that structure within that force field of Atlantis I'm being shown, that the schooling was so fast, so developed, so powerful, that you naturally opened and amplified your gifts with other people because the frequency was so pure. And it was just a state of elevation and powerful, multidimensional. This is what I mean about being in your light, being in your truth, being in your power. At at that level, everybody holds this power, every single human being now. But we've lost that because of conditioning and love in on the planet, the lack of love on the planet for people, for for everything in synergy, because of this divide of fear and hate, or hate and love, whatever you want to call it. I
Hmm.
don't like to use the word hate, but it's light and dark, it's polarity, it's duality, it's being human on earth. However, this wasn't anything to do with that. It was just being.
So how can we get back to a state of being right now?
Being is a journey of unlearning, unlearning and awakening And we're not here to awaken people, but yet when you are awoken, you can't unsee and unlearn what you feel. You just know that you see the world in this duality of light and dark so, so strongly that all you want to do is be in the light. And the light is that place of love, co-creation, unity, um, community, and connection to bring about a frequency that elevates not just human beings around you and with you and in your environment, but also the planet, because the planet is a living, as there's a living structure, it is holding us. And a lot of people forget this when we take it for granted living on Earth. But the Earth i- is our brain, it's the brain of us. It is the brain of keeping us safe.
Hmm. Very much so. So, does Atlantis have a message for us today?
Atlantis was destroyed by people that wanted it.
Hmm.
They wanted what they couldn't have,
Hmm.
and they destroyed that. But the uncovering of Atlantis and what it held as a frequency will be uncovered in these episodes we create together because we're uncovering Atlantis, and there are places on Earth that are linked to this, and that is to be revealed. And people don't know about this.
That's fantastic. So, I think we're just about at the end of this episode. So, we will go back to Atlantis, find out more about how and why Atlantis was destroyed, how things move forwards, and how Atlantis affects us now. Obviously, we don't know exactly what's going to come through. Emma will channel what needs to be heard at the time. So I hope you found this interesting today, and certainly seeing Atlantis as a planet rather than something on Earth, I think is absolutely incredible. But it's the energy of Atlantis that certainly draws me in. I don't know about you, Emma, but the love, the frequency, the people getting on with each other and just being, right?
Yeah, and I think for me is to really understand the vision of multidimensionality
Hmm.
because we are multidimensional people, even though not all of us realize that. And we hold so much power in just our light as beings that in a united sense, if we all recognize that, there will be so much good change in the world as all of us in humanity. And most of all, to show to understand that sufferance of people or struggle or sufferance or disease or whatever you want to call it in the world, there is a hope of that as a raised level of consciousness that people need to be aware of and how powerful we all are together for me
Definitely. Definitely. We need to
and for
switch.
being in channel.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Well, we all need to switch our lights back on, right?
Yeah, and it's being aware and being conscious of this.
Yeah,
And that's really a message today of being open-minded and understanding that how powerful we are as human beings.
absolutely. Absolutely. I can't wait for the next episode.
Great. Thank you so much, everyone. And we'll catch up with you next time.
Bye for now.